So I'm out doing some Christmas lights, enjoying exploration, and it actually reminded me of a crazy story that I think is perfect for this type of channel. And it is the story of the Santa Claus back in 1967 was flying in from a helicopter to see children. He was supposed to land in this parking lot, and it crashed. And all these children saw it happen. It was a crazy story. So I'm going to tell you this story as I'm walking through, and you can enjoy all these very positive Christmas lights as I tell you this story. So I'm just going to break this down for you. This is the story, probably not one for the kids to listen to, as you have probably figured that out by the title and the thumbnail. But on the afternoon of December 8th, 1967, a holiday promotion in Evansville North Park Shopping Center, Evansville, Indiana. The North Park Merchants Association had arranged for Santa Claus to arrive by a helicopter, which was a spectacle meant to draw shoppers and delight hundreds of children. I mean, there was an estimate of 1,000 to 2,000 people there. Some people even say more. Could have been as much as 3,000. You get the idea. It was full of people. The helicopter was a Hughes 300. It was piloted by a man named William Dorr, a well-known local aviator. Now, Dorr owned Crescent City Aviation and served as president of the Indiana Aviation Training Association. So he was obviously a good pilot. His company had participated in similar promotional flights in the region, including previous Santa arrivals at tri-state shopping centers. Now, riding with him, dressed up as Santa, was 59-year-old William Bretz. He was an Evansville tool and die maker, employed at Whirlpool, well-known. He was very frequently portrayed as Santa Claus during the holidays, and Brett's Santa suit had been sewn by his wife, and she, along with their children and a young grandson, were there in the crowd waiting for him to come down from the helicopter and land. Now, as the helicopter approached the parking lot, it circled the shopping center once before descending. Some people say that it was oddly low for the situation. In fact, Evansville police officer Vaughn Pierman, who witnessed the approach, later said the aircraft appeared to be flying at an unusual low altitude. As the helicopter moved in, its top rotor blade struck a high-voltage power line, sending a burst of sparks into the air. The pilot appeared to pull away from the wires, but moments later, the rotor struck the lines again, which then snapped it. The wires went flying. Everyone's running out of the way because, it was the 60s. It was just different. The people were much closer than you would ever expect to be with a landing helicopter. Now, the impact caused the helicopter's battery to be thrown free. It flew into the windshield of a nearby car and exploded. And almost immediately, the helicopter flipped nose downward and crashed onto the pavement and onto its side, basically coming to rest 10 feet from the crowd. I mean, it was very, very close. People said that there was battery acid all over the place from the battery. For several seconds, there was stunned silence, followed by screams from children. Spectators rushed toward the wreckage in an attempt to help the men, but when paramedics arrived, they determined that Bretz had likely been killed instantly. Dorr was transported to the hospital, where he later died from his injuries. The downed power line left much of Evansville north side without electricity for about 3 hours. Now, at the time of the crash, Federal Aviation Administration regulations required approval for helicopter landings. Nothing like that was done. I guess this would have been considered unordinary sights or unordinary landings. Now, what's even more crazy is that I read about first-hand accounts, people who were children back then who were there, and they remember that accident. They remember the crash. They remember the guy. They remember the man in the suit, the Santa Claus suit, and he was laying there in the wreckage dead. And that is just an insane memory to have, especially as a child. I mean, that is something I don't wish on anybody. People were stunned. No one seemed to understand what they were looking at, especially the children. What did they just witness? Santa is up in the helicopter waving to them. Next thing they know, it's crashing to the ground. And there's Santa in the wreckage, not moving. Even the adults were frozen for a little bit, trying to process how something like this could happen. Witnesses later said that the most unsettling part was the stillness. The helicopter sat twisted and broken near the shopping center, its rotors mangled, debris scattered across the pavement. There was no music, no announcement, no explanation, just hundreds of people staring. Parents pulled their children closer, some covering their eyes, too late, obviously. Others didn't know where to go. They just maybe left, maybe sat around on the curb and watched. And on the ground, near the wreckage, lay the man dressed as Santa Claus. For children watching from a distance, it didn't register as a man in a costume. It was Santa. No one rushed forward at first. There was hesitation, fear of electricity for one. The power lines were laying near it. Helicopter still hot, smoking. Pieces all over the place. What do you do when you're in a situation like that with your children? A few bystanders then finally moved children away, shouting for help, trying to restore order, but there was really none. Ambulances at some point and police would arrive. People later said that what stayed with them wasn't the noise of the crash, but it was what came after. The image of a destroyed helicopter sitting in plain view of a shopping center, a holiday crowd standing in stunned silence, and a Christmas tradition ending in a way no one there would ever forget. I mean, think of the PTSD or you'll never unsee that, especially, as a child. Now, in the hours that followed, the shopping center emptied out. Families left without shopping bags, without explanations. Many still in shock. Parents struggle to find words to their children. How do you explain something like that? Mommy, what happened? Where's Santa? Why is he in there? What happened? Some told them Santa had been hurt. Others said that there had been an accident, a situation, a plan for joy for the children became the sight of something no one was prepared to see. And for those standing there, staring at the wreckage, holding their children, and watching Santa lie motionless on the ground, Christmas never felt the same again. And that is the story of the Santa Claus who died. What a crazy story. I felt that was fitting for this channel. Merry Christmas. I'm going to keep enjoying some of these lights. See you in the next video.